the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie.
Damn.
Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time. And
So, first of all, y'all know I tell my own stories through these types of things. So, for one, I understand where he coming from by neither one of us care to reach out to reconcile. So, y'all don't know me. Well, some of y'all don't know the story of me, and I call her the lady that had me respectfully. It's dope that he can say mom. I can't. So, the lady that had me, she always used to send me a picture of my brother. My brother, he's older. He's 10 years older than me. And she loved him. He is her favorite. And then I have a little sister that is about, I'm going to say maybe 6 or 7 years younger than me. And then it's me, right? So she kept sending me pictures of them, especially on his birthday. But on my birthday, I wouldn't even get a happy birthday. So at first, I'm just trying to think like, maybe, it's an accident. I don't know. She used to be on drugs. I don't know if she still is, but she definitely used to. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna charge it to the drugs and the brain. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But it's a every year thing. So at some point I'm like, yo, why do you keep sending me these pictures? I don't know if you know, but I'm not happy about this. It's them like basking in happiness, right? Him by himself, them together, all hugged up and happy. So I'm like, I don't get a phone call. I don't get a happy birthday. I don't get a nothing. You know what I'm saying? So why would you think that would be something nice to send me? So I basically was just like, could you stop doing that because it doesn't make me feel good? I don't know if you think it does, but it doesn't. So, saved drug addicts, God is at the top of the list. Not saying that it's fake, but that's what they try to project on you. Like, oh, God bless you then, because, huh? No. You're sending me something that's offending me because clearly you don't desire to have a relationship with me. What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the conversation, she ended up telling me, because I was like, she basically started to say some type of truth. And I was like, well, tell me the truth then, sis. You know what I'm saying? And she basically said, well, that's all you are to me. That's all you'll ever be to me is what she said. So with that being said, I no longer desire to have a relationship with you. I didn't desire to have one with you then. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that to say I feel exactly where he coming from. Because for some reason, the parent and the child you can get to that point with a parent and you can get to that point with a child, unfortunately, especially when they're adults at that point. He's grown, and maybe they just can't get it right.
I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have three sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the fourth son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid, that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know,
And that's the thing.
but to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do. which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, those were things that I was willing to get over. Nobody's perfect, we're all human. But my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things.
So this is when I tell you, cuz, that all women are not born with the nature of loving their own children. You said something about that the other day.
Well,
that women are born with
that
that.
they're natural nurturers. Now, the love and extension of love to their own kids, that's neither here nor there. They still have that nature of nurturing in them instilled when they are born. They might not give it, like Monique might not be giving it to this one, or the lady who had you might not be giving it to you, but she still was born naturally with it, and that's why she's able to do it with her others, right or wrong. But I think they still are born with it. Every woman is still instilled with the nature of nurturing.
It depends on what nurturing is for you, I would say. Because what we were speaking on is women having children and having that relationship, whether it was nurturing or not. It was a relationship in general that y'all would have to build, they would naturally have. And I just completely disagree. Obviously, I'm biased to this because I'm going through this, so I would know. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I absolutely think everybody just does not need children. I don't think mothers are born with it. I think it's something that they have to adapt to. Some women, don't get me wrong, some women do automatically. As soon as they come out, oh shit, I'm a mom. That's it. That's all.
Right.
And it's plenty of dads that are the same. They absolutely tap in as well because of, like we said, the 50-50 thing. A lot of men tap in,
Right.
especially the ones that's like, yo, this is mine. What you mean? This is mine.
Yeah.
They tap in as well. So, yeah,
I agree. I just think it's of course when we speak, or not speak anyways, I speak on the majority. Like there are those that just tap in and that get it, but that, like I said, and in your situation, there are those who just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of women it's just there. It's just gotten when they have the kids. Oh shit! When they find out that they're pregnant, it's kind of like a starting then. I just think it's a majority thing.
I feel you. Gonna agree to disagree.
Yep.
My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well, and anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started, but to take it a step further, around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that
So he's calling her husband
Her dad.
her daddy. Am I tripping?
I was wondering what he meant by that, but I don't.
I
He
think
did say
he-
married her daddy.
I think he's saying like he owned her, so to speak. Like she do whatever her daddy tell her to do. Like that's his shade. Like he can call her mom, but that daddy shit is his shade for sure.
Okay.
Obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him, holds him around the time that she married her
wait a
daddy and
minute.
had his children. No, wait. there are still women to this day
Okay, wait a minute. What?
that my mother will give credit. But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the excuse me, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate. I guess you could say there are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him, holds him around the time that she married credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my daddy, and had his children.
Damn.
But that
Basically, he was saying that held no weight. The apology that she did give him held no weight because she showed no interest in being his mother and him being her son in the first place, which I mean, it's his prerogative, but I would have taken an apology over nothing.
Facts.
I definitely would take an apology because nobody's perfect, and this shit did not come with a manual. I'm sure, when these kids get older, they might say something that I never thought I felt like I was doing. Like, what you mean? I thought I was good. You know what I'm saying? I thought we raised you correctly or whatever. All children have their own resentment. But for him not to accept the apology at all.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, everybody mourns and feels their own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't tell him how to feel. We don't know what he feel,
And being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready, that ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right. Okay. But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money, goodness gracious, that would make me want to come to her or...
And that's just pride, because if you want the relationship, just go to her. I mean, somebody, and I will agree with the whole, like, you the adult, but he's an adult now, so you can't even use that unless you were a child. What you was about to say?
So I feel indifferent about that situation because I do think that as a parent, you brought me here. It was your obligation to take care of me. Not only that, but to show me that you care for me in a sense as you're not my friend, but as my parent. As I got older, yes, I understand it and I realize it that there wasn't a manual, but I didn't mess this relationship up. You did. So it's a part of an accountability to be like, yeah, I want this relationship with my kid because I was so effed up back then and couldn't, understand how to raise a kid. Let's try this now. It's not on the son no more.
I absolutely
don't think
agree.
It's ever on
no,
the
it's
kids.
never was on the. Well, it depends on how the son has treated her in the past.
Well, yeah, that if the child is if the seed was the one who, of course, tarnished the relationship, then yeah. But whoever, in this case, it seems as if it was the parent, especially because she's, so loving for her other seeds. I think it's up to her to come and say, not the door's open, but come here, baby, let me talk to you.
I completely agree. Because how she said it was rather egotistical as well. My thing is, if you know that she's, whether the side that of what I'm on is, if you know that she's not, is it going to sit well with you that she gave you the opportunity to speak to her, I guess?
Because if I know that you're not going to do it, that shows me that you have no interest. So if I bring it to you, it's not going to be genuine.
Facts.
So nah, it's not gonna sit well. It's not gonna sit well. What am I trying to say? It'll sit well with me that I don't go, because even though she gave me the opportunity, because it's like, if you wanted, you would do it too. If you wanted, we would meet up. If you wanted the way that I want it, then it'll happen. Not the door's open.
I ain't gonna lie. So with the lady that had me, my brother had a wedding, right, several years back. And I didn't want to go to the wedding because I knew she was going to be there. Mm-hmm. So, my maturity levels was not at an all-time high, I felt like. So I'm like, my mom who raised me is like, go, talk to her. See, how it is now. If it ain't what you want, then at least you try, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, man, my other brother, like, I'll go with you. You know what I'm saying? We can go together. We can get a room together, so we can bond and you'll be all right, da, da, da. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I'll do it, I only had a couple dollars to my name at that time too. So, I was penny pinching. So I needed to drink because I'm like, I want to be able to deal with this. This is at the time. I want to be able to deal with this without having fear or being on edge. That alcohol would have just slit that down the middle a little bit for me. But my mom, who raised me, told me don't do that either. Just wait, see her, handle it like a adult, basically. And I'm like, all right. So I went, nervous as hell. I see her. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on? Done? Just, at my brother's wedding. Oh, okay, that's what's up. Type shit is what that was. I'm like, okay. So that was number one. So I'm like, now I need a drink. I done tried. I'm about to get a drink. So I have me too. Right? So then she comes to my table and says, let me holler at you. So I'm like, all right, what's going on, right? Y'all. I went to the table. Do you know she asked me for my social security number, cuz? She said, what's your social? What the fuck? What you mean? What? I ain't gonna lie, that's something you should know. But I'm just saying, what you mean? What you need my social for is what? I was like, what you need my social for? Basically, you remember when you got the FAFSA? When I called myself going to school? Yeah. Well, they taking it out of my taxes every year. I'm like, ain't that about a bitch, okay? Karma sound like to me. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I'm not giving you my social, but you can give me yours. Well, I don't know why I said that. You can give me your social. I'll call them and I'll tell them to swap out social. Some bullshit I told her. She was like, all right, bet. That was it. So I'm just saying, at that time, I tried to be the adult there. Now, did she say, come talk to me? No. It was more so like my mom, the one who the one who raised me, is saying, listen, go talk to her. This is the chance to go ahead and get that done, before she passed, life's short, da, da, da. At least you won't regret it. You tried, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I went, which this damn near sound like the same to me. She didn't invite me, but it was inviting. My brother, he's getting married. You know what I'm saying? This is a time to be around and at least attempt.
Yeah.
And I did, and that's where that got me. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I got what's your social security number?
But he didn't even try at all.
I don't blame him. What I'm telling you is I don't blame him for not.
He might get a different outcome.
Might not.
Monique not going to ask that man what's his social.
Hell no. But what you going to see, I want you to show, I'm going to show you what she did say. She basically was like, if you feel some type of way, and, we haven't spoken and blah, 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 you got to come to me, basically. That's egotistical. Why can't you say, baby, come home? You baby everybody else? Yeah, baby, I'm sorry, baby. All those babies,
Have you ever thought that the reason she is that way is because she did what she was supposed to do as a parent?
Who?
And he wants her to be more so of a friend? Because that happens a lot.
Yeah, but
There
no,
are
that's
cases
not.
she just
So it wasn't a relationship there in general. So basically, she was working what I'm getting from it is she was working her ass off
for
this lifestyle.
For the kids.
So that's why he's saying he want everything but money. This is a child you can't buy.
Right.
So I think that because he ends up saying she was kind of showering me with gifts type shit, I think she just kind of wanted to give what she could give because she ain't really got the rest.
Okay.
But I think in the moment when she finally got to where she wanted to be, she ended up getting married to her daddy, he called it. And those other 2 children, stranger. He said strangers. So that man brought his 2 sons along. And then now she's just being the best mom in the world.
Ooh, that goes back to my point then. Because, of course, we know that Mo was, or it still is, a very iconic comedian. So that goes with the traveling. Then she was on the Queens of Comedy. Then she had her shows. So it's like she was working. A lot of these situations where the kids are very unappreciative because they don't know their parents because of the work. And it's unfortunate because it's like a, pick your poison type deal, because that's how the relationship was with my pops. He had his 6, 7 kids, and he had no other choice because he knew nothing else but to go to work, hard labor. He come home, he tired, ain't no time with us. On the weekends, he really resting up. So it's like, for me, my sensitive ass, I wanted and desired that intimate relationship with him. The other boys was just like, what's up, Pops? Like, they had no problem with it. But I was like, give me a hug, Daddy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't get that from him. And we still talk about it to this day. Now, it's not as animosity as it used to be, but we still talk about it to this day, where it's just like, son, I did what I could. Like, if I didn't go to work, I couldn't feed all y'all hungry bastards. Y'all was growing sons. And he was like, I did what I could. And as I do get older, I realized that was terrible because it was like pick your poison, but I understand.
I mean, that's where I am. Like, so that ain't my situation because, hell, that wasn't what it was.
Right.
With him, I do understand Monique, especially with what, and I'm not going to say we, because clearly I'm not a comedian, but I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
So with this job, you got to do a lot. Like, and with her, I can only imagine traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, everything. She had to come up with her jokes and had to do press and all that. That's not for a child, to be there.
Right.
But everybody does not have this story. Dale Curry's sons, come on now, Steph Curry, they are phenomenal basketball players.
Right.
They look up to their dad. He spent that time. I absolutely don't think Michael Jordan spent time with his children because neither one of them can play basketball. Granted, I understand that just because he could don't mean the others could. But I feel like if he took time and really, really invested into them time, that they would be worth a damn. I really think with Michael Jordan, because he did a lot on his own. He was outside practicing what?
That's a rough comparison of players. Because although Dale Curry was an icon for Charlotte, he was like ranked 250 something of the 300 people in the league.
LeBron James is the number 1 player in the world. Don't argue with me.
LeBron James is the number 1 player in the world
now because Kobe Bryant is gone.
Also,
is what you was gonna say.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Also, his kids are interested in the sport. That matters as well.
Yes, but I feel like still you can't take away the time that he put in.
If them babies was not interested in the sport, the time wouldn't be there. Is what I'm saying.
So it depends. I disagree. It just depends. Because sometimes, yes, children don't know what they want, clearly. But when you start them early, most of the time they will like it until they say, I don't like it.
Right.
So if you don't put in that time, you won't know. Now, Michael Jordan and Dale Curry is a bad comparison. Michael Jordan and LeBron James is great.
Michael Jordan and LeBron James is great. Okay.
So with that being said.
In a sense. Because Michael Jordan changed the world.
Michael Jordan still could have gave time to his children. That's no excuse. You have them,
excuse. Gotcha.
you give them time,
Right.
period. So you have the money to give them time. I mean, but anyway, LeBron James does it. That's why his sons are top tier right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that as an example. When you put in the time, some children need time, some children need attention, some children just want money.
Right.
So he just so happened to want time. And that's not what she could offer. But the problem is when the other kids came in, suddenly you can give time.
Well, the other kids came in after she did what she did.
It don't matter. That's when you should have been making up to this one because clearly you would have had time.
And
correct?
that's where we agree.
Just saying.
Or whatever those feelings was no weight. They're supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with.
Facts.
I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me, and she would validate her love for me by giving me things and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, though, to ask God for what you want, and then he gives you what you need, though. Only for you to ignore it and have the audacity to ask God for something else. And I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I didn't do that. And when he told you no, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything. That's not the case. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear. Supposed to be. I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm a dad, I'm healthy, I think. I drink a lot of water, I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else. And, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person. And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly. I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created. I don't want it that bad. And
so he doesn't like things. He doesn't care for things. And
Materials.
he just said that he would give up things to have a relationship with whom he brought to this earth.
Right.
Now, where that is inconvenient, I guess, or where that just won't happen, so to speak, with a lot of people, is that, especially now, the world costs too much, bro. I mean, like at that time, clearly it wasn't as high as it is now.
Yeah.
Now, we are at an all-time high of everything is high. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's rather ridiculous how high things are today. And with that being said, it's nothing that I can't tell. Like, some days, I got you. I will make sure I go take y'all out for ice cream. I'm going to make sure I take y'all out to eat. Girl, we're going to go outside. We're going to have some fun. Or we just going to sit in this living room, chill. Or I'm just going to cook for y'all for this event. Or I'm whatever. Give them that time. But it is some days where it's like, listen, don't you want your nails done? Yeah. Okay, guess what I got to do? I got to go work. Don't you want them Jordans that's coming out? Because you keep saying something about them, and the only way I'm going to get them is how. Okay? You want that PS5 for Christmas. You want that iPad for Christmas. Y'all want iPhone 15s, 13s, and all this other shit. What you think I'm going to do to get it?
Right.
So that's where the line is drawn with children. Because it's like, what you want me to do? Because if I don't provide these things, I'm a bum. I'm not a good parent. I wanted a PS5. You have kids now, or adults now, that talk about things when they were kids. Like, man, I always wanted a PS5, bro. That's all I wanted. And I could never even get that, bro. So I got to buy it for myself. And I buy it for my kids and shit. I think you lose. It's a lose-lose regardless.
Yes.
It's just a lose-lose regardless.
Because pleasing someone who don't know what they want really, or someone that wants everything because it looks good, is going to definitely be a downfall when it comes to being a parent, period. Because like you saying, Neek, God forbid, but 9 times out of 10, the parents that do give that time where they can give that time and they also work, it's still going to be an issue there somewhere.
It's going to be an issue regardless.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you always at work. Yeah, but you always got your nails done. You always got that PS5. And yeah, but I don't want that stuff. I want this relationship. So it's like.
But right after we done with the relationship, you go right back to those things. I wouldn't have been able to buy those things.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But that's something they don't understand.
So that's why I'm saying, as parents, we just gotta stop learn how not to be their friend sometimes. Hey, listen, I love you, but you could be mad all you want. I can care the fuck less. I gotta go get this money.
Facts. Now I disagree on the friend thing, because it don't sound like to me he's saying I wanted her to be my friend. It sounds like to me he's saying I wanted her to be a mom. It sounds like to me he like, why didn't we sit down at the table and have dinners?
Well, okay, that makes sense. Because like I said, that relates to me. But Monique is still being a mom. She just have to be away. She just not being a mom in his standard. His standard is more physical touch, close quality time-ish.
Yes.
But being a parent, not always that.
Yeah.
Monique couldn't.
But that I disagree because he said that she could to the other ones.
Well, now. But like you said, he's in his late
still
teens.
can now though.
She said he's in his. He said he was in his late teens by the time that happened.
So the time is really what we would need to know.
You know what I'm saying? We
really
gotta find out. Like,
dive in this thing.
He said the late teens was when she got married and then took in the strangers, and you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
of course, now we know that it had to be because Monique was on fire with the Queens of Comedy back in the 99, 2000.
She's going on another tour again. It's just a lot.
Right. So it's like now
she gotta work.
Now she got the time because she ain't on fire like she was back then. She wouldn't have the money that she got right now if she wasn't busting ass like she was back then.
Apparently she don't have the money. She's another complainer. I mean, the apple don't fall too far from the tree because she's complaining about how she lost millions and millions and millions of dollars because Tyler Perry threw shade on her. So that's another thing. Like, this money you saying you ain't got or didn't have, like, he's saying you did. I don't know.
Of creations,
And he also don't know.
Yeah.
I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even thought, I'm alive, I'm happy, I'm a dad, through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid? But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, bless her with 3 other sons. And God willing, I'm sure that all 3 of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all 3 of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look forward.
You can't even be the grandma now either. Trash.
To that moment for her.
Trash.
But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't, through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested, they can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience with our mother. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life. Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment, there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time.
Damn.
Praying for something that you were not willing to put forth any effort to obtain.
Damn.
Putting the work into.
He said his birth was a waste of God's time and the universe's time. The only reason why he's thankful for her having him is because he was able to have his own. Damn.
Becoming Monique is more important to my mother than being my mother. And I do not believe that it was.
He is really upset at the fact that she chose her career, or he feels as though she chose her career over him.
It was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her. But like I said, man, I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity. They can't relate to what it is that
Damn.
I'm saying.
Time around. What's your relationship like? Is he resentful of that?
We're still very much separated.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where you have to pray to the universe and say, let time do the healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Right.
That's it. Let time do that healing. It may heal it in time and it may not.
Right.
And that's something that we as parents have to say, listen.
Right.
No. Let the universe heal it. Let the universe do its time. How about you just speak to your son? I mean, come on. Now, if she, nowhere in here did she say she tried to reach out to him, so we don't even have to guesstimate if she did. You ain't reaching out.
Right.
She cool with, I just let the universe deal with it.
Praying to the universe.
I've done what
diabolical.
Nah, I completely disagree. See, we'll talk about it.
Could do. I've taken accountability for it. Now it's up to you.
Right.
That's like when somebody's saying, Shannon, I want to apologize to you. Now it is up to you
Whether or not to accept it.
whether or not to, but once I give it to you, I've done my part.
So she's saying that she's apologized and he ain't trying to take
And
it.
don't apologize like no punk. I'm just sorry for everything. That gets your ass out of it. No, break it down.
Time around.
And then she's trying to insinuate that she broke down the apology. So cause the universe, when I see 111-222-323, it comes to me. I don't look for it. So I don't know if you know, but everybody in the comments is asking me, why the hell you be saying that all day? It's because it comes to me.
Right.
So with that being said, to me, that is the universe. Also, to me, universe, God, clearly, this goes head to head. They are together. There's no way in the hell you can have a universe without God and God without a universe. We in it, he in it. Let's just talk about it. So with that being said, y'all believe in what y'all believe in, and that's fine with me. I love the Lord. We have an amazing relationship. You understand me? But me and the universe as well. We friends. You know what I'm saying? So when she say praying to the universe, that's what she believes in. She's saying the universe gonna deal with it. Vibrations is a very much so real, very realistic thing. And we didn't know what to call them back in the day. Okay? Vibrations, universe, they all come together. If universally they just cannot do this, if their vibrations do not connect, if vibrationally they cannot do that with each other, then they just can't. And it sounds like to me that's what she's saying. She's saying, I apologize to him. If you don't accept it, it is what it is. So that's kind of that on that. I just want to say vibrationally, the lady that had me, we don't connect at all. You know, she was mad at my dad forever, still is, about whatever she's mad at him about. And she projected that onto me. A lot of women do that with their daughters. For those that don't know, especially, you know, if you've gone through it. If you haven't, you won't know. But for the ones that have gone through it, you know. A lot of times when the dad pissed the mom off, she can't stand him and she can't stand your ass. So my dad did his work, his good work on that one, because clearly she can't rock with me because she don't rock with him. I'm cool with it. I've accepted it. Thank God I had a woman to step up to be there for me. And that is where I am with that whole situation. He needs to forgive himself for hating her so much. And then he'll be able to forgive her. And then life will be fine after that. Because at that point, he feels as though she ain't a part of it. He don't want her to be a part of it. But he is bitter. The only reason why I don't say mom is because I don't see her as my mother. I have a mother who raised me. I see her as my mother. The lady that had me is simply that. She did not raise me. She had me though. You know what I'm saying? So that's not bitter though. That's just the truth.
All right.
A mother is a woman that takes care of the child. That's what my mom did for me. The lady that had me did simply that. She had me. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I am with that. I have accepted all of it. I'm cool with it to this day. I don't care. You know, it is what it is. I don't wish no ill will on a soul, but we have nothing to talk about at this point and won't for the rest of our lives,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned. So that's really all I have to say about that. I think he's hurt, but he has taken that pain, put it in a box, locked it, and kind of like stored it away. And that's why that was able to offend him. And he wanted to speak about it, to let it out, which he is right, rightfully so to do. But if I was him, I would at least try to go holler at her. It may not be good though.
All right.
Just may not go
At least
well.
just to see the outcome.
At least. Like, why would you go on that interview and say that like you just gave me the best apology? And that might not be the best way to present it. But hell, if she want him to go to her, how you gonna tell me how to present it?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want me to come, here I am. It is what it is. So that's where I'm at with it. You got anything to say? I gotta pee like a...
I agree.
Yeah. That's it. Y'all let us know what y'all think down in the comment section below. I'm done with this video. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hell yeah.